Enemy just about to go live right here, and we've actually had a bit of a roster change. We were expecting Mainline to be playing for Enemy, but apparently at the last minute, I don't have any information on how or why or what's going on. Mainline is sitting out, so their #1 sub and alternate coach, Ryu, is back in. So it's pretty much the same old roster for EnemyGG that we saw back during the playoffs. Ryu's no scrub, but we were just talking about, we were just talking up Mainline as the in-game leader, such a powerful player, and now he's sitting out. Could be bad news, Alex.
It could be bad news. You know, obviously, we don't know who's going to be calling here. Is it going to be Anomaly or is it going to be Ryu? That's the question. It looks like they're just taking this round slow here on the T side, just trying to find some information. And really, they're probably just trying to feel each other out and, you know, understand that they don't have Mainline here to do anything right now with him.
Well, slow play so far. You're going to see Roka and Sanks working the B side defense for complexity. Valen Semphis buddying up at A with automatic sitting in that boost position that he likes so much on Dust 2 in CT. Looks like there might be some movement. Kusta peeking his way to challenge Valens. There's a grenade. Smokes down, flashes down, and this is the push. Straight
yeah, it's coming.
Cap.
It's coming very quickly right now, and we're going to see what's going to happen here as Valens trying to hold this off here in a very nice spot, but gets tagged, gets taken down, but automatic. A nice double kill for him. And it looks like this push is just getting shut down piece by piece. Semphis, Sanks finish it off. Nice job there on holding that cat push and only losing one player.
Yeah, that was kind of a exceptionally slow play by Enemy. They sat there. They weren't doing anything particularly aggressive, trying to get any sort of information or intel on what to do. It seems like they just walked out. They hoped that complexity would push, which they didn't. And then they just kind of flipped a coin and said, you know what, we're just going to go for cat. And unfortunately, Automatic is in such a good position to make that 2K, and then Semphis putting up big numbers too.
Yeah, and it looks like they're preferentiating this B site here. Enemy really wanting to get that control now that they've kind of had a problem there on cat, and they know that they're going to be going against players that have bought. You know, with FAMAS's no SMGs here. This is an interesting call here. Roka getting 2 so far. He's going to get 3. Thanks. And then the mid-rotate didn't happen. At least the player that got through, and it didn't happen, and there it is.
Yeah, Roka happened to be just in the right position at the right time. Sitting at the back of Plat, and the smoke didn't quite block him off completely, so he was able to just play the angle on that smoke, and he did some massive work right there. So already looking really good for complexity. No bomb plants for EnemyGG, which means no third round buy whatsoever. The economy is in shambles, but that's all right. I mean, that's kind of how it happens. We're just going to be looking for a buy next round. Maybe Enemy can take some of the guns off, make this a costly round for complexity.
You bring up an interesting point about the fact that they don't have very much money, 1. 2, it's just Glocks. They only have Glocks. And you know how many shots it takes with Glock through armor to kill somebody. It's too many. And so this is going to be a problem for them early on in this game. Sanks takes off Anomaly there at mid, and that's just going to make it a little bit easier for them. Is, you know, bunching up, you know, with Glocks is not necessarily a bad idea, but the problem is when nobody has armor, it puts you in a disadvantage, Sabo.
Yeah, Kusta finds himself severely hurt too. Check this out. Dropped all the way down to 14 health.
Yep.
Automatic's got the angle where he's going to be watching Cat, but he's able to get a little bit of information down mid. Watch this grenade. Thought it was going to do a whole lot more to Relics over there. Just drops him down to 99 in B. And it looks like they want to do some sort of a split down mid. Really dangerous, though, looking at the positionings of Sanks.
Sable, they don't have a smoke to smoke that off, to smoke off CT. And with Sanks with that flashbang, the second he sees somebody, he's just going to throw it big with him. Really set himself up for these frags. He does get 2. Oh, but he gets taken out. Uber gets 2 kills, and this is going to be a bomb plant. This is what they needed the money. Is it going to happen? And it
there
does.
It is.
The spray down coming through the box. And there's a kill, but 2 kills there for Enemy and the bomb plant. They really, really needed that.
That was just really patient play on the part of Uber right there. You saw him hanging out at the back of B. He dodged a grenade, only took, what, 1% of damage over there on him. Mm-hmm. And then he basically baits his entire team out in mid and then walks right into the B site, getting the bomb plant. That's huge, right? I mean, you're not expected to win that round at all, but the bomb plant gives you $800 and an extra $300 for him. So this is going to be a very fruitful heavy buy for Enemy, and now this is their chance. They've got to win this round to get on the board. 3-0 right now.
For those of you just now tuning in, we want to make it clear that Ryu standing in for Mainline, as Mainline is unable to make it right now for unforeseen reasons we don't actually know. Anomaly, a nice kill there at mid, and they've got this mid control, as I'm talking about, that they smoke off CT, and they're going to be able to pinch in Roka in B side if they do this quickly, although Anomaly doesn't have much health. It does go down to Roka. Roka is just kind of in a rock and a hard place here as he has to hold this off, isn't able to really do anything there, and now it's a 2v3 for compLexity. They've already got 3 rounds, and a Famasa and an Apu. This is definitely possible for them, but that fire is really going to make it hard for Semphis to do anything there at the window area.
Yeah, this is a really solid hold 3v2 situation with Semphis, but the problem is that off is so long. I mean, when he pushes through, there's going to be no surprise that he's coming through, especially with Relics. Keeping eyes on it. Ryu also watching the corner. You're going to see Bailey trying to push through smoke. He's going to get shot in the back through smoke. Shut down, and that forces Semphis to back up, try to save the op. An Enemy getting a point on the board on their first gun round. That's pretty big.
Well, it is, and Semphis getting another one there. Going for 2. Can he do it? And he does.
Nice.
So, Enemy getting a nice hold there for them.
Yeah, it's a really solid hold. Good take as well. They had the kind of a textbook pincher sort of maneuver. I thought Roka was going to do a lot more damage, though. I mean, Roka is such a solid player. His aim tends to be absolutely on point. And they held it off for a while, just not quite long enough to get the full rotation back in. And you saw Semphis with the ops stuck on the outside of smoke, and that's just not where you want to be. This time around, again, I'm liking the gameplay here. It's nice, slow, methodical play by Enemy. It's textbook dust. Taking position in B, taking position long, and Kusta's kind of dodging back and forth, wondering, okay, after I try to go for the pick, you know, which way do I want to take this bomb? compLexity, stalwart. They are not moving, not pushing. They're not going to give one opportunity to Enemy.
And no, they're really not. And even though they're trying to get this mid control, Semphis gets flashed there, and he has to fall back because he doesn't know what's happening there. They're trying to get this mid control, and emphasize mid control on this map is obviously important, and is one of the keynote features of Dust 2. As if you can get that mid control, it opens up the map to so many splits and opportunities, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen with that split. It looks like it's just going to be a full-out cat assault here as they are throwing stuff over, but I'm not so sure it's going to be a commit here.
Yeah, it looks like Kusta's kind of packing up along with Relics. The bomb's located pretty far back, but no, there's smoke. I think they're going to push this. Look at Kusta. Back to it. Here's the flashes. Semphis is completely blind. There's a one-for-one trade kill over there. Semphis is able to take one down now. Ryu all alone at Cat. There's Semphis with the op. I told you, his op was on point in deathmatch, and apparently it's on point right here. Anomaly all alone at long.
And he just can't really do anything here. He needs to save his weapon and try to see what they can do here in this next round. Obviously, they're going to be saving here on this next round for the most likely, at least. A good round for compLexity, shutting them down. And I'm a little surprised, Sabo, that they decided to push through Cat. I mean, they were smoked.
So
they were
dangerous.
counter-smoked. They threw fire. They threw all the right stuff. But Semphis staying alive in that site really shut them down.
Yeah, it was such a dangerous move. I agreed with you. You called it. It's like, I'm not sure they're going to be committing to this, and they're starting to back up over there, but instead pushing through the smoke. It's kind of, you know, it's one of those things. It rarely pays off, but it can catch a team completely by surprise, especially when the odds favor you backing up and rotating in another direction. It's really unfortunate for Enemy. Economy's wrecked. All you got is Anomaly with that saved AK-47. Try to do something as they push out all 5 long A.
Yeah, long A with some Glocks, P250s, and an AK. I'm a little surprised they don't put Anomaly on a different side of the map and basically just try to work rotations and see if they are able to do anything with him. But he does get in pit, and I think he's just going to try to spot for information. They know Semphis is playing that A side, and that's a big problem for them as they got forced out of long. That's a problem for them right here, but they've got to do something here to try to get this round. They would like to make this 4-2 right now for them to get some more momentum under them, but it's just not looking very probable right now, especially if you look at the guns right now.
Well, they're trying to set up for some sort of a pincer move on to the A site. Automatic watch in the corner at Cat. Uber's going to walk out. One tap, headshot. And that's a nice entry. Semphis is going to go ahead and respond with the AWP, holding the hard angle. Uber shouldn't stand a chance, does not stand a chance, and he's shut down. Now all you've got are pistols rushing up long A. Sempus is in a position where he can't do much about it, though, relying on Sanks, AK-47 in hand, taking one down, and now we're in a 2v3.
Yeah, Anomaly still alive there, and that's and he does just go down there. So Anomaly and Kusta both going down there at the end of the round. A solid round for complexities. Only 2 people died, 2Ks apiece, Sempus and Saints respectively. Just kind of that failed split didn't really happen there.
Yeah, you had a pretty solid entry going on Cat with a one tap on automatic, but they had 3 players stacked kind of tight inside of A site, and I don't think they were really expecting that. You saw Uber and Sempus doing really good work, and again, Sempus is off, clearly on point right now. He's leading his team 9-0 and 0. That's a very impressive numbers right there, and it's another stage for EnemyGG.
Sempus getting aggressive there in B, does get one. And then has to fall back. Roka gets digged in the face. Sempus is going to have to try to hold this. He gets one for the smoke, but then Uber digs him in the top of the head there. A nice job for Uber, getting 2 kills on that B site, upgrading his deagle, his pocket op to a real op, and he's in B site trying to do something with the bomb, not with him. Thanks. Trying to say otherwise. They don't know if he has the bomb or not. They don't have the information, but now the bomb's going to be making its way with Anomaly coming in there. Oh. Uber does take another one. He's got 3 kills right now on the round. And the bomb will go down in standard position with Valens coming through tunnels. And Automatic trying to work double door.
I don't like Anomaly's position one bit. He's going to be exposed on 2 angles. One comes around the corner. That's going to be Valens getting a 2K. 1-2. Both headshots. And I think that really came down to unfortunate, unlucky positioning right there. EnemyGG, though. Alex, I think they've got to be happy. They got a bomb plant. They almost stole an op and stole a round right there, too.
Uber's shots there. 2 deagle headshots and then that op. Well planned and well timed for him. But that fire that came in from Automatic really helped Valens on that play, Sabo. And now we're going straight into this. 6-1 complexity over Enemy right now. And really, Enemy would like to get some more rounds here, obviously, but they're also playing a little bit differently here. Instead of like emphasizing that mid, they've been trying to do other things. It's just not working for them yet, Sabo.
Well, I'm looking at complexity over here. This is the first time we've seen some real long aggression, and it pays off as Sempus taking an Anomaly down. You go so many rounds right there where long is unchallenged, and you start to feel very confident. You can just walk right through those long A doors. And then here's Sempus responding, taking Anomaly right out of the game, and that's going to cancel off any kind of aggression on long. And instead, again, Enemy stacking on Cat. They really haven't had a whole lot of success over here, but you're going to see a big 4-man push. One smoke goes down to cover the cross. Relics doing the flying Freiburg down low. Pushes up, and this could be good.
Yeah, it could if they can take Automatic out really quickly, and they do. So they do get site control for them, and that's important as this 4v4 situation's about to start breaking down, but Sempus takes out Kusta. Sempus in an overpowered spot really here by this pit area. Gets 3. Excuse me, 2. I'm sorry, I thought he hit that 1 shot. So he's got 2 so far, and now they're just going to push up into there. Roka gets 1. And there it is, the round for complexity. A nice hat trick there from Sempus, really in a nice spot there.
Wow.
To hold that A site.
That's a 3K total for Sempus, just representing tonight. 14-0 and 2 so far. The player has been absolutely on fire. And at this point, if I'm EnemyGG, I might start thinking, you know, maybe the A site isn't for me. They've had a lot of success going towards B on 8 go rounds. They got the bomb down, almost took a point. Maybe switch it up. But instead, you're going to see very standard textbook play yet again. Kusta, up in hand. I think the real challenge for Kusta is he's got to start holding a candle to what Sempus can do. Otherwise, it is going to be good night, game over for Enemy on the first map right here.
Yeah, he does need to get some steam rolling here, but the really important thing on this part of this round, early part, is we saw his POV. You could see that he saw 2 of those players that crossed over to B when two of those people for Enemy were trying to work B and get in there fast. They threw some grenades and just backed off, trying to hold a rush that could have possibly happened because it did happen to them earlier. Valens flashes himself out, and Kusta does hit a shot. So just when we're talking about Kusta hitting shots, he does get 1. and they're going to take the bomb and fall back here is they got a nice opening, and this really favors Enemy in a lot of ways if they can do splits, if they can isolate players, and if Relics could find a way to hit Sanks here, or if anybody could hit him, it's really going to open the round up.
Unfortunately, Ryu just spots him for the longest time, doesn't fire, and takes a tremendous amount of damage. Luckily, he's still alive. There's the push back to Cat. Look at that. Sempus finally going down. That's Kusta with the op shot. That's got to be confidence building right there. All the proper smokes are in place. Anomaly's going to go ahead and drop the bomb. And it is planted. Actually, I don't think he planted it officially for long. Kusta's going to be watching that angle either way. And it's up to Roka, Automatic, and Sanks to do the retake. And it's going to be Automatic on Cat, Roka down low. And Sanks is going to be back in Automatic up.
Yeah, they're going to have to push in here quickly. They don't have a lot of time. Uber does take out one. Sanks raise it out. And a lot of chaos ensuing, but Sanks is going to push through the fire and does go down to Kusta. Kusta, a hat trick on the round. And when we're talking about it, he delivers.
Right,
that round
exactly.
was important for them, Sabo.
That was absolutely critical. I was talking about how Kusta needed to start out-offing Sempus, and he does it. Just nails him, takes him down, making a 3K that round. Two interesting things I want to point out over there. Enemy, super aggressive. They were smoked off that long. They flashed out and just pushed through the smoke. They've been doing that like it's nothing. Paid off. That opened it up by taking Valen's down quickly. You're going to see that happen again. And then they also had a 2-op setup once they stole that op. A lot of action already going on down at long. Alex, take it away.
Well, that 2-for-2 trade doesn't really benefit either side. I guess in a way it would benefit the terrorists, as CTs do have to spread out a little bit more to at least hear stuff that's going on. But it really just came down to getting that shot there early, and they both traded each other out. But the damage is pretty much similar on both sides here with a similar setup. The only difference is Roka with a FAMAS and 16 HP. It's not going to really help him as far as the statistics are concerned. But they're going to be working long and Cat here. They don't know where compLexity is, but they are preferentiating this B site. Anomaly just slowly creeping his way up, the fire coming through. They're just going to be given the site, and they're going to be able to plant this bomb thrown over to them from Ryu, and they're going to plant it.
Bomb has been planted.
Well, there it is. Bomb down, and now compLexity knows exactly what's going on. This is actually a pretty good situation for EnemyGG. They've got a little bit of time right now. They're going to take one kill on Cat, and it's going to be a 3-man push down Cat. There goes another one, and it's up to Sanks versus Anomaly in the 1v1. Anomaly backs up towards Goose. Sanks chooses to push the issue, completely winnable. He pre-fires, gets the shot. Even unscrews that silencer. You know what? I don't need this. I'm just going to defuse it and shoot with that cool-sounding M4 unsilenced. Uh-oh.
And it does not happen.
Oh, no.
He doesn't get the defuse. That right there was a literally less than probably a half a second. I didn't see the specific number.
That was
but
close.
That was extremely close. And
wow.
That has got to be heartbreaking for them.
That, I don't think he realized it either. He just kind of walked over, he starts defusing, and then there's that last moment where you say, uh-oh, I've made a huge mistake. 7-3 is the score line right here, and EnemyGG, they've got to be thrilled with themselves at this point, forcing compLexity now into an eco, and already Automatic goes down Cat.
Yeah, that's just one of those things where Enemy getting that round is going to reset the economy of compLexity, and they're going to try to work with this here as they've already got a frag on Uber. Sempus just kind of hanging out over in B, trying to see what's going on. But in the meanwhile, in this timestamps here, Enemy working their way up along with Relics is kind of the distraction at B, and now they think that they've got this figured out. They're all up on A, and this is going to be a heck of a retake here. Once this bomb goes down, planted, it's going to be a hard retake for compLexity to be able to do this, especially with no armor. They do have 2 AKs. I almost wonder if it's smarter to save the AKs here, but I don't think that they're going to... Well, actually, I think they are going to do it. Sempus, though, seems to kind of be trying and seeing if he can get an exit.
That's Sempus. Yeah. He's such an aggressive player over here. I think at this point he's making the decision, you know, I do need to back off and save it. But he's famous for this sort of stuff. When the team should save, this is classic Nylon play here. What's he do? He's going to force buy. When they maybe ought to just back off and save those guns for the next round, he's going to push the issue and try to be a hero and save the day. This is why he's responsible for such major game-changing rounds, but it also costs you a lot of rounds. This time he's going to back off, though. He's got to be happy with a 2K, hanging out of the guns, and check out the money situation. Should be a pretty solid force buy going on for complexity this time around.
Yeah, this should be really a good, solid, stout gun round here for both sides. And I'm curious to see is what kind of setup complexity is going to do when they do that push up long. When they all push up long, it seems like they get some good positioning up there to try to hold off enemy. But now it looks like they're really preferentiating Cat with 2 players being quickly boosted up. And enemy has a different idea. They're trying to work long, and they do get 4 players out. And the lurk there, Anomaly. And you kind of wonder who's calling here, Sabo. I mean, who is it?
Yeah, my guess is it's going to be Anomaly. I mean, he used to be the in-game leader for the team in the past. We talked about how there could be like conflicts of interest going on between him and Mainline going forward. So he's got to feel comfortable stepping up and calling the strategies. And it's working pretty well. But this time around, check this out. We're already in a 3 versus 5 situation. Automatic taking a whole lot of damage down there at mid. complexity's going to hold the angle up top. And this is bad. Relix is stuck. He's able to find 1 kill, but that gives his position up. He's going to have to take Valens down if he wants that bomb.
Yeah, this 4v2 really favors complexity because they just have to hold these angles because they know Anomaly's not on site yet, but Relix is going to make it a little bit easier for them as takes out Semphis, and now if they can get this bomb, which they do, well, excuse me, they didn't. Relix was wanting to get it, but he decided to not. But their time's running down. They need to find a way to make something happen right now so they can get this bomb down, at least get the money at the very least. But that's going to be a really hard thing for Anomaly to do in a 1v3. Flashbang over the wall. He does get one, turns around, goes down, and Valens takes him out, switches the M4 for the AK, and just runs off. Thanks comes in for the defuse, and there it is.
Yeah, that was an impressive round right there, and Anomaly, I don't think he should have gotten that kill. It gets really aggressive, takes one down, but he's caught between a rock and a hard place at the bomb. I don't know, maybe it was a little bit questionable going for the bomb plant right there because they had to kill out everybody one way or the other. There's really no choice but to do it. By planting the bomb, he forced the peek, and unfortunately his teammate didn't see exactly who it was. Gets his head taken right down. Either way, you know, it doesn't completely wreck the economy of enemy. You see them picking up Galil's AKs, and Kusta still has an off. That can be a game changer. And like we said, as long as he can either not deal with Semphis by not going to the A site or out him altogether. And it looks like a couple of shots are being exchanged at B.
Ryu, you know, for enemy has a deagle. And that's an interesting part about this buy is he's kind of working in that B area that B tunnels here. But the bomb's dropped over at the top of mid area, and Valens, if Valens knows that Anomaly is holding back there and holding the long doors, if Valens does kill him and break through, it really could shut down any kind of execute that enemy's going for right now. But they're just playing this round slow, and they've been doing this pretty much the whole game. The whole map so far this half is just playing it slow, just trying to catch complexity out and see if they're making some mistakes that are going to be easy for them to take out.
Yeah, complexity is getting a little bit more aggressive. You saw Valens push up long doors trying to get information. Automatic did the same thing, trying to peek up, pre-fire, and get a little info. He backs off and gets smoked off, though. Look at this. This is your mid-entry with Kusta and Ryu walking right in. Relix and Uber with the bomb, and then Anomaly at the backside. Thanks is going to go towards car. And there you go. Roke is dead. Thanks. Can he get the kill? Not meant to happen. He's going to get shut down. That's your B-site entry. And it's up to Semphis and Valens again to try to do something on the retake. Kusta looking the wrong way.
He almost took out Valens there if he would have seen him fast enough. And really, if he wouldn't hit that shot, but Semphis obviously going to save this, but he would like to get a kill or two onto enemy because the situation for complexity economically is they might be able to buy a little bit of some things, but I think they realize that they need to save this op to try to save for the round after this one. Yeah. Because
that's only 2 rounds lost, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a whole lot of money, and look at their economy right now. Valens is the poorest person with $300. That's pretty wrecked at that point. The only person who can really buy for anybody is Semphis, and you can't even get an M4 with $2,300.
No, you can't, and that's a problem for them, and they know they have to save here. Semphis probably just going to pick a side. I wonder, he's been playing A mainly, But I wonder if they switch it up here and
Go B.
throw him somewhere else.
Well, B would be the right choice because look at the strong B aggression on the part of EnemyGG. They've got 3 going in that direction along with the bomb, but it is going to be the standard duo of Roka and Automatic hold in the position. Roka might get aggressive. Does so. Kusta dead.
Ryu taking out his own player?
Was that a team kill?
Yeah, that was a team kill. It looks like in the kill feed, he took his own players, so now it's a 3v3 situation here with B-side given to Enemy. The most crucial part of this right now is if they can get in here and get this bomb, that'd be nice. Oh no, the flank down. Uber goes down, and now they know that they're in B-side. They've got map control. compLexity just has to try to prevent this bomb plant from happening. That would be really nice for them to be able to do this. Valens creeping his way. Semphis does go through double door. Does get one. Ryu in a 1v3 goes down. Semphis with another hat trick, and now double up, it looks like, for compLexity. On a round, they really couldn't buy anything,
Yeah.
so nice job for them.
Almost a 4K round for Semphis if it wasn't for Valens peeking up and working that teamwork angle from tunnels. Picking off that final kill. Enemy, I mean, what can you say? Team killing out of B when you basically have the site. That wrecked it for them, and it also wrecks their economy, and they're still going to force buy when, I don't know, I somewhat disagree with this decision over here. You got AK, Galil, it's a completely broken buy. At least they've all got armor, so if they can get some sort of an entry, they've got a really solid chance going forward. Where's the bomb going? Might just be A.
Now they're going to be pouncing out of here, trying to catch Valens. Valens does go down early, so that's another rifle for Enemy. And unfortunately, within the last round and a half, they didn't really have much of a choice here. Picking up that M4 for Relics is a very crucial fact here, as they got that pick, and now they can fall back and have, you know, a more traditional kind of a buy here. But Kusta with a scout against an op here in Semphis. And Semphis looks like he's losing the engagement right now, as he's only got 33 HP. Ryu trying to work up long, and this looks like a split on a split here, Sabo. They're trying to push up an Automatic.
Oh, look, Automatic!
He's just going to wait for them to go by. He does get one, does get two.
God!
Can he get 3?
He's out of ammo!
Oh, no. Enemy takes it. 6-9 there. I don't know what that was, Sabo, but nonetheless, Enemy getting 6 rounds on T side for them.
Unreal.
A lot better than, of course, the CSGO Lounge predicted that they were a 15% chance.
All
And
right.
now them getting 6 rounds, Sabo, really changes some things up here.
Well, there's your Alpha Draft halftime report right here. Automatic. That's the man I want to look at right there because he just did some insane ninja stuff, sneaking backwards through smoke. I'm so glad we got that on camera because he just walks in through smoke, walks back out, gets the 2K, runs out of ammo, finally gets shut down. I think we have a much closer matchup than we really expected over here, though. 9-6 with EnemyGG, really representing the main league, the CEVO league, or the CEVO main league, quite well against compLexity. A lot of raw talent, perhaps still unrefined.
Yeah, and you look at compLexity here. Semphis 21-1-6. His back has to hurt right now, but he does have some help from Automatic and Sinks, 12-12, and then Valens and Roka 8-8. But just the kills all over the place. And Anomaly only got 3 kills that half. He's going to have to step it up here to try to help them out. I'm sure that he's probably calling, if I was going to, make a generalization just because of his kills. Normally you see the IGL not with as many kills.
Right.
But nonetheless, I mean, Enemy getting 6 rounds, I mean, that's good. And that's going to help them. What do you think that Anomaly, we're going to assume Anomaly's calling here. What do you think Anomaly's thinking right now?
Well, I think he's got to be pretty satisfied with himself at this point. I mean, he is going up against compLexity. Like I said, a lot of talented players, and Semphis is clearly having a solid game, dropping a 21K at the end of the first half. His plus-minus is plus 15.
Yep.
And yet they're still able to take some positions and pick up a total of 6 points on T's side. The question now is, what are they going to do switching up to CT's side? Do they want to play super aggressive and start pushing all sorts of angles at the risk of opening up the site? Or are we going to play something a little bit more conservative? And you saw how well that conservative play worked for compLexity's CT side. I mean, with a few very rare exceptions, they did not push. They did not aggress at all. And maybe it's that patience that's really winning them the game.
And here we go, the pistol round here. for the side switching the second half, and we are going to see Enemy with a an incendiary on Uber, and 3 armor sets, and then 3 armor sets for compLexity, and they are just going to be coming out of long, raping, trying to see if they can get a fast, long hit now. That would be phenomenal for them if they are able to do that. The bomb going in last, but the critical part about this that could break down is if Kusta does get behind them, if nobody's watching that flank, Automatic looks like he is, so it could really depend on that. But then nobody's died yet on either side, so...
This is crazy.
Yeah, Automatic does get Kusta, so the flanker does get taken out there. Relix trades him out, and they know that somebody's back there. Semphis does fight him and take him out. And now this 4v3 ensues. And just a lot of kills going down here. Uber, last person alive in a 1v3. Some nice pistol play there from everybody on compLexity. And there it is, almost a Team A. Semphis with 2, though. And Semphis has got to be happy with their performance right now.
Yeah, Enemy really needed to pick up that pistol round to secure a couple more points on the board, but clearly not meant to be. And I think where it all went wrong for them was, yeah, okay, giving up the site, that's one thing, but failing on that flank. It was Automatic who saved the day for compLexity, taking that first pick and also getting the intel that, hey, there's one more person down here. Otherwise, I don't think Semphis and whoever was backing him up, Semphis and I think it was Valens, pushing down long to go ahead and mop up those extra kills. 10 and 6, compLexity large and in charge, and look at this aggressive buy. They've actually got an AK-47 in the hands of Roka.
Thanks, trying to make his way through the door, but Ryu's hanging out over there on the other side of that door, and I don't think he's going to check it. Ryu does take him out there, and that's the standing right now for mainline. For those of you that didn't know that, I'm going to reiterate that one more time. He's standing in for mainline, and that's why you don't see him in this game right now. Nonetheless, we go back to the action. So a 4v4 here, I don't think they're even going to really go for this. They're just kind of playing passive and going to try to save these guns that they do have and make use of what they can. Semphis does go down to Kusta, and now it's a 2v3. They just got to get out of there, but they're doing a lot of damage. Kusta, could he get these next 2 kills and really put some guns out of compLexity's hands? And he misses that single shot, but oh no, he's taken out. So now they only save nothing really. They save the CZ, and yeah, they're...
Well, there's that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't really know what else to say about that.
Well, there's that. 11 and 6. I mean, keep in mind, this is a much better game than anybody really anticipated. Your CSGO Lounge odds were 85% compLexity and 15% Enemy. And the score line is actually showing a lot better than that. I think at this point we can all sort of guess compLexity's probably going to go ahead and take the win on first map of Dust 2. But keep in mind, this is just the start of the night. The next map is compLexity's map choice of Cache, a map that they're very, very good on. A map that they actually beat CLG on very recently. So lots of stuff in store for you. And of course, we have a second matchup of Luminosity Gaming versus Follow Esports. That's your former SKDC squad right after this. Alex, looks like a pretty quiet start to the round.
It does. They're feeling this out. Obviously, they have the guns to be able to do this. They're just kind of trying to put Enemy in a bad position, trying to make them guess and pick a site to stack and preferentiate. And mid kind of being open here, it appears, and they don't know that, but Semphis is going to work his way out of here with this Tech 9. He does go for it. Ryu does take one, and they're just trying to get B control now as they've kind of already committed. Automatic does take out Relix. Ryu goes down as well, so now it's a 4v3. Oh, Anomaly with that CZ that was there, does get one. 3v3 continuing here. Anomaly with an AK-47. Trying to find their way into this site, but this site, they need to wait for the smokes to clear. Roka takes out Uber, and now it's a 2v3, and I believe that they're going to save. And I think that Kusta's going to play for an exit here, because he doesn't have armor, and there's no reason why he shouldn't try to get somebody to come out. And he is going to go ahead and get spotted by Roka. Automatic does take him out, and there's the round there. compLexity 12-6. And there's really not much else to say. Oh, Relic's requesting a pause here.
Yeah, you got to look at, we got to pause. There's some sort of a tactical timeout going to be coming your way very soon. You got to take a look at Anomaly right there, who was the star for EnemyGG. He had the light success of an eco round, which is making a kill way back on the flank towards like top of mid, and he was able to pick up that AK-47. So now he's got armor, AK-47, and enough money to buy a whole bunch of grenades. That's something at least. But of course, this is going to be your first gun round underway very, very soon. Apparently, Kusta has a phone call, so we're going to have to be taking a timeout for EnemyGG while Kusta takes care of whatever business he has. That, of course, is your young star opper for EnemyGG, a real up-and-comer in the Counter-Strike scene.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that, is known in the community for being one of those guys that can hit shots. He's fairly consistent for the most part. He does do some good things with that op, and he does have a good mind for the game. The thing that really confuses me sometimes is especially in this half. I mean, right now he's sitting at 9-1-15. Obviously not bottom fragging or anything like that, but it'd be really nice.
Look at Semphis.
Yeah, 23-2-8. I mean, that's really dirty. So now the game is going to come back into fruition here as we're going to go back and start round 19 here. compLexity, EnemyGG, 12-6. compLexity in favor, and they've got the momentum here. But enemies, got a chip on their shoulder. Like, hey, listen, we're not just going to walk out of this and give up. We know that main lane's not here, but that doesn't mean we can't do anything. We've already got 6 rounds on them, and the question is, can they do more? And it's just going to depend on how they set up CT here. But if compLexity is going to try to do, it looks like some sort of B split, as they had 3 people rush through lower B, and not only gets smoked off, but does get one before the smoke lands. So they know it's a B split, and that's going to leave 2 of those players isolated. Relics and Uber isolated in B site. He does go down to Roka. Relic's working around that smoke there, so a 4v3 now with the control of the site for compLexity.
They gave him the site, though. I mean, look at that. Relics is just sitting there focusing solely on mid, and it's like they completely forgot to look at tunnels, the most likely location for Keys to come from. So they just walk right in and plant the bomb. You are going to see an attempted retake. If this favors Enemy, actually, with a 4 versus 3, Sanks is going to quickly go down, and now they're flooding on in. Semphis and Roka. Roka's going to go down up on platform. That's up to Semphis with an op all alone. He's a good shot, but he's not that good. He's going to get taken down after serving Ryu some op justice. There's a defuse. There's another gun round. I think now EnemyGG have won both first gun rounds at this point.
Yeah, that's a nice motivational thing for them. They needed that round, they wanted that round, and they got it. I'm a little confused. At first, like you talked about how, well, EnemyGG, they just gave them the site. And excuse me, and you're right about that. But they were able to get in there tactically, mindfully get in there and get that round. So good job for them, as now this 7-12 scoreline, obviously in favor of compLexity, but a good way for them to get back in this. And if they can win this one, they're going to force compLexity into an eco, and that's what they need right now.
Yeah, it was also a pretty good delay tactic, too, because it looked like Relics was holding off for a long, long time, and it bought just enough time for Enemy to really get in a position so they could do a nice 4-man pounce once the site went down. A lot of action at long, though. Look at this. 1-2. And a blind spray down Anomaly is not going to connect.
Yeah, spray down City and 2ing, and comes down to now Uber getting a nice kill there. Ryu gonna meet Valens here. Does go down.
Ryu.
Really low HP there for Valens and Semphis, and they are in a bad spot because by the time that they're gonna think about pulling the trigger, if somebody's looking at them, they're probably dead. 7 and 10 HP respectively for Semphis and Valens. And this is just not looking good for compLexity right now, unless they can trick Relics and Uber to pick the wrong site, but I don't think that they're going to commit to a site. I think they're just going to work up mid.
Yeah, Semphis is already in B, so he's going to be calling, Valens, look, it looks pretty good. Come on in. This could have looked ugly for Valens. You saw Uber and Relics thinking about going into the B tunnels, but instead they picked the wrong site. They worked their way towards A together, and now hearing those smokes bloom tells them it can't be A. We're going to work our way towards B. Bomb does get planted. That's a victory. Let's see what this Molly does.
Relics throwing that fire over there. It's going to put Semphis in a rock and a hard place. If he gets fire here, he's going to go down, but Relics takes out Valens. That fire didn't kill him. Sempus, can he do it? He cannot. He goes down. Uber, a beautiful play by him to get in there and get that defuse, and it looked really promising for them as they got that first pick, but not the way it ended up today.
That fire, though, I mean, if it was like a fraction of an inch farther, Sempus would have been dead in a heartbeat. And I think that's part of the reason why Sempus was able to get that one kill. Because, like, the assumption is if anybody was there, they had to have been flushed out or killed. So I'm not even going to bother to check back at flat. Unfortunately, it was a 2v1 at that point, and Sempus just couldn't take the 2K that round.
Looks like Uber hugging Relics there for a second there at spawn. Relics didn't get off there off the line at the right time, so they kind of did have an embrace there, but they were.
Can you feel the love tonight?
Oh, I certainly do, Sabo. And they go into B together, trying to rock it, but nobody's really over there. It looks like they're just trying to play passive and feel this round out, and compLexity knows that they need to be able to get this round as they were able to buy. I figured they probably weren't going to think about buying here, but they do. With two players out head armor, Sempus and Automatic, those people respectively here. Valens with a Tech 9, and they're really throwing a lot of stuff over at mid, but this looks like it could be an all-out cat assault. And Ryu sitting there smiling, going, haha, please come over here.
Well, you know what? It looked like it, but all of a sudden you see Sempus and Roka working their way down towards B, but Relics is in position. Shots are exchanged, and there it is. Relics with the kill. I don't think he knows that Roka's behind him. Turns around, gets sprayed down. Now he's stuck in a 2v1, tries to tuck tail and run. Gets shot right in the buttocks by Sanks, and that's going to be good night, and it might just be an opening. Unless Uber can do something on a sneaky boost position on top of box. Gets 2 before he goes down. That's a solid sight hold by Enemy.
That is, and Valens trying to make something happen here. Does get 122 HP left. Caught with his pants down, the smoke out, and there's the round. Enemy gets it. 9-12 here, significantly better than 6-12, and they do force compLexity to make a hard decision here. And they are going to go ahead and stick with that decision of saving a couple P250s. And Sabo, that round really just broke down a little bit differently than you normally see on Dust 2. It kind of broke down in the upper B tunnel.
Yeah, well, one, compLexity seemed really indecisive. Like, they were starting to push Cat, and they just changed their mind. I don't think they picked up any intel or information. They just turned around and canceled the strategy. And then by the time they pushed into B, Relics was already in a position to do something. Even though he went down, I think it was just a 1-for-1 trade, he got all the information in the world to allow for quick rotations, solid holds, all this sort of stuff to happen. This time, looks like it's going to be Cat through the smoke.
Yeah, and this is a thing that Enemy tried against them, and can they do it? compLexity trying to push through there. A nice eco strategy, definitely a good opportunity for them to do this. They do get one pale player down. That's Kusta. He does go down. Valens is going to go ahead and try to plant this bomb. As Automatic trying to hold the flank there on Cat. So the bomb goes down, and now it's a 3v4, but two players heavily tagged there for compLexity. Anomaly working his way up there, trying to take him out. Roka with 1 health goes down, and there's the round. The 4 people survived there for Enemy. They have strung together some nice rounds here. This will be the 4th round they've won in a row against compLexity. They just won on a save, and now, I mean, just phenomenal work by them. I mean, they are really coming back into this game. They won the round when they needed to win it. Now we're back to a gun round.
Yeah, there were 2 2Ks for Enemy, but yeah, like you said, that was actually an eco round. That's kind of how it's supposed to unfold at this point. What I find so surprising, though, is the fact that Enemy is just 2 points away from tying this thing up at 12-10, and they've already proven that on Dust 2. They can go toe-to-toe with the likes of compLexity and take it away on gun rounds. In fact, it's been on ecos and anti-ecos where Enemy's had the most trouble. So, if anything, this round ought to favor EnemyGG. Let's see how they hold it off.
Yeah, let's see what's going to happen here. Anomaly and Ryu hanging out there on Cat. Nobody at long, though. Yeah, there's nobody at long, and if compLexity knew this, they might try to go work it. But just as we say that, they almost practically hear what we said in a way, and they just send 3 people over there. They're like, oh, we're just going to shift and play passive and get them
now this is looking bad. Look at Sanks and Roka. If they start pushing up and getting the information, it could be bad. Kusta's in a really good position with the off, though. I mean, he could shut down any kind of a Cat push. That is, if he's not blind.
Yeah, Sanks hopefully will figure out here soon. Valens looks like the distraction is they're going to hit A, it appears, to the Cat. Sanks does hit 1. Automatic. And now we're down to a 3v3 here as the trades did occur. Two of those players for enemy rotating from B. They know it's going to be there, and Ryu running out of bullets and does pull the pistol out and does go down. And Uber and Relics here have to try to find out what's going on. And they have to think very quickly because they don't have a lot of time here to work. 35 seconds left. The bomb just now going down. Uber does spot both those players, does take out Roka. Sempus trades him out. And now it's Uber. There's a 1v2. Does turn and take one. Automatic. Really, they're in pit. And Uber does have to reload and go down. And that's the round that complexity needed, Sabo. Kind of comical seeing him. He's got to reload. Oh, no. But nonetheless, it does happen.
That was so hard to watch right there. I mean, he's in mad clutch mode. And then when it came down to taking the pit player down, you're in it was the worst position possible, right? There's no cover whatsoever. You can't go to car. You can't hide behind the wall whatsoever. And then the ammo just completely runs out. What are you going to do? He goes for the reload, gets shut down so quickly. And that was absolutely huge for complexity. They needed that for their economy. Now that forces enemy on a eco round. 2 dead already. The B site's going to quickly go down. Pretty much as expected at this point, and I would expect a 14-10 scoreline before EnemyGG can mount a real counter.
Yeah, that's pretty much how the round's going to end here, is Kusta and Ryu trying to see what they can do here on the back side of things. But, you know, complexity really get out of there in that last round by just the nick of time. They're taking them out, and they needed that round, I think, more than they realized, because now it's going to be 14-10. 1 round away from map point, and that's going to be really nice motivation for them if they can turn that around and get this going in to cash, which is their pick.
I mean, that's a nice kill right there. Unfortunately, it wasn't after the round timer, but still Ryu was able to take the off out of the hands of Sempus. That's a big win for EnemyGG. Yeah, but that previous round, it was gun round. It was absolutely huge and so close for enemy. They almost clutched it. If maybe one more person hit their shots on point, you would have seen a very different scoreline at this point. But hey, EnemyGG, they've got cash right now. They're going to go ahead and set up again, pretty standard. A lot of aggression going down at mid. That's going to be Anomaly and Ryu working together, taking one down. Roka flashing out. They've got one entrenched in pit. Anomaly's going to get another kill right here. And Valence wisely backs off. I think that grenade connected and did some serious damage, though.
Yeah, it did. It made him a one-shotter for those M4s, which would be nice if it was a headshot. And I'm talking specifically on headshots here. Nonetheless, Sempus does get an op kill. Valence.
Why?
They turned this around, and now it's a 3v2, and they've got B-side all the way open. They don't know this, but they're going to figure it out soon as Valence holding the mid area.
They know.
And there they go. They're coming in there quickly to get that bomb planted standard, and Valence is going to have 2 people converging on him here in just 1 second. He backs up through the smoke, trying to see Anomaly. And he does get behind him. They didn't see him. He does take Kusta. He does take out Anomaly. And there it is. Map point coming here. And they turn that around so much. Like, they looked like they were having problems. It looked like a nightmare for him at long. And then there it is.
Relics, you know, he did very well a couple of rounds ago, pushing through B tunnels. This time around, he gets really aggressive, pushing through B, thinking it's going to be something at long. Hey, I'm going to sneak up and flank behind him. And he got caught with his pants down, and that completely opened up B's site. And, you know, complexity, they're a smart team. They're keeping track of the fact that Uber and Relics are always playing B. They know it, so they realize we can just walk into this site. It's the only people left alive are the A players. We saw them at long. Hey, they can't be here yet. And that gave them all the confidence in the world to just walk in and get the job done.
Complexity, 1-man advantage here on this round. Uber, Relics, and Anomaly trying to see what they can do here. Unfortunately, there earlier, Kusta did get caught out pulling at his CZ, didn't quite get it fully pulled out, and did go down, so now they've got to retake this side here. 2 FAMASas and an M4. They're going to be pushing right now through, and there's Elevator. It looks like we might try to boost. No, it doesn't look like that's the case. I think Uber wanted to, but they just appears like, and there it is. Complexity winning the first map, 16-10 over enemy. There it is. Sempus, 29-3-14. A nice game for him. An automatic, not far behind in kills. So there's the first map. Enemy's pick. They do go down 10-16. And Sabo, enemy putting up one heck of a fight on that map.
Yeah, one heck of a fight, but I mean, let's get one thing straight, guys. To boost, you got to crouch, right?
Mhm.
Default is the C button. A lot of guys hit control for that, and then you jump on the guy's head. That's what you do. You can also jump and get up there too. I
Yeah.
didn't think that needed to be said, but apparently, I don't know what was happening over there with Enemy. It's like, boost me, boost me. No, never mind. Total miscommunication. And of course, you saw how the T's just completely wrapped all around it and shut it down at that point. Nonetheless, Alex, like 16-10, I think that's a really impressive score line on the first map for Enemy. Based on the CSGO Lounge odds, based on what everybody on HLTV is saying, I think that we would have expected Enemy to just get stomped tonight on both maps. They've got to be happy. They've got to feel some boost of confidence right here finishing Dust 2.
Yeah, getting 10 rounds on this team is definitely nice for them, and they've got to be happy about that. Especially considering the fact that it looks a little rocky for them early there, but they
Yeah.
did get some rounds. They did get their footing. They were able to get 10, but now they've got to go into a situation where complexity's map choice is cash, and they've got to find a way to split
Oh,
this
yeah.
1-on-1.
Yeah, it's not only cash, but it's a map like completely. They focus on two maps only. They do Dust 2, they do cash. They do Dust 2, they do cash. And they've had most of their success on cash. It's their most picked map. It's their most wins. The best win percentage on this map. And most importantly, they've recently made a huge victory. This was I think it was August 31st, a 16-9 win on CEVO against CLG, Counter Logic Gaming. I mean, you look at your North American teams, and you can pretty much put Cloud9 up on top, and then CLG and Liquid have exchanged places quite a lot as the number 2 team. And at this point in time, unless CLG continues slipping in the online bracket, at this point in time, I'd still put CLG up there as your number 2 team. So any kind of victory is absolutely huge, and it means that this is going to be Complexity's map. Enemy have got their work cut out for them, that's for sure.
Well, and that they do, and they're at a disadvantage straight out because Mainline not in this game here and in these two maps right now for reasons that I am not aware of. However, Ryu standing in for him, and it seemed like they had some good chemistry. They were able to work together early on and get some things done. And obviously, Ryu being the sixth man of this team at the moment, knowing how these players around him play, and yet obviously the coach as well. So it was nice to have him in there and be like, okay, I need this done. I need this done. I need a flash. I need a smoke. I need this. But it was just too much for them, and they kind of fell into the pressure there, especially after that round, specifically where they struggled with the shooting, and especially with that pit.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to draw the picture here. In pit, I forgot who the players were. You got pit, and you got that person trying to fight him, and then he had to reload. So.
Yeah, exactly. He got the kill on Semphis up top. I mean, that's a really tough situation to be in, right? You've got an AWP behind you looking straight down. You got a player in pit looking straight down. Actually, it should have been the other way around. The AWP should be sitting in pit. I don't know what happened, whether they just couldn't get Semphis into position or whatnot. But you've got to walk directly into a crossfire to get any shots on anybody. He's able to take the AWP down. That's a huge victory right there. But then what are you going to do? You're out of ammo. You got a long-distance firefight on your hands. That's it. If you are just joining us, right now we're just in the Alpha Draft halftime, waiting map number 2, Cash. It is a doubleheader tonight, as usual on CEVO. We've got Complexity facing off against Enemy, and then we're going to have Luminosity Gaming facing off against Follow Esports right after this. Map number 2 of the night is Complexity's own pick, their favorite, their best of Cash.
Yeah, this is something that I think that we all are aware of. I mean, look at their picks and look at what they want. They want Dust 2 and Cash. We talked about it all night. Now, they do sometimes lose on these maps, but they're trying to find a footing, and they're trying to find what works and what doesn't work in this league, and they're having some success. I mean, they won 16-9 on Cash over CLG. Obviously, you've already referenced that on August 31st, and they had since then they hadn't really won anything on CEVO, except
They've
going
struggled.
back into August 18th. They did struggle, and I wonder if they finally realized, okay, well, what we were doing then didn't work. Now let's try something new.
Well, I mean, also, look at who they've played. Like, playing against a team like Liquid, I'm sorry, but Complexity in their current form is just not on the same level of a Liquid or necessarily of a CLG. That's why that victory is so big. And their only other wins have been SKDC, right, who is now basically Follow Esports. So much shuffling going on, and also sponsorless. So it's not like they're walking in and wrecking the place against Cloud9 or top European teams or anything of that nature. So clearly they've got some work to do, and I think they're really focusing on just these two maps and figuring out how are we going to play as a unit, how are we going to work as a team. One thing's for sure though, with a team like compLexity, you got Matt Dickens Warden working as your coach. You've also got Jason Lake, and I mean I remember him from way back when he first showed up on the scene. He knows how to take a group of players and say, you know what, this is a team. We're going to call this the compLexity Syndicate, and it is the best team in the world. Don't believe me? Try it. They wrecked 3D way back in the day, and this has been his reputation, is just taking these teams, building something really incredible, and rising to the top of multiple games. So I expect the same over time with this version of compLexity. It might be a long, hard road, but they can do it.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. I think that well, and one thing that we talked about here that just kind of happened on the fly, and I do want to go back to this whole IGL thing, because when you take somebody like Mainline who came over from Method, you inject him into this lineup, and you have all these pieces trying to feel each other out, and then we're talking about it in the pregame, the off-threat pregame show, and then all of a sudden, he's not here. Right before we go live, we're sitting there talking, well, he's not here. Who is it? Oh, it's Ryu. He's here. And Ryu's obviously the coach of the team, but they really need Mainline to help anchor this call. Well, true.
I mean,
I know, and I agree with you there, but I think that, I also think that also takes a step back in a way, because it's like, okay, well, Anomaly's not the IGL for a reason now. Obviously, secondary clearly, and he's able to do that, and clearly they got 10 rounds probably because part of the reason attributed to the fact that he was helping to guide them. But I think another thing was too is that it's just hard when you've got that guy that's supposed to be the caller and he's not there. Now they do have that kind of that middle ground where they have somebody that used to call, but that's kind of a problem.
Yeah. It's anytime you're going through these sort of changes or stand-ins, subs of any sort, it's tough. Even when you have a main like sideboard kind of player stepping in like Ryu, who's played with the team for such a long time. What I'm curious about and what I'm going to have to go on and research is to see why exactly is Mainline not here. I mean, he was in the big HLTV like expected lineup. He was announced as an official new member of the team, and then suddenly here he is missing. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna have to stop you here because I believe that I see him in the server. He's actually here. Yes.
Well, this is huge.
Just as we talked about it, I saw Ryu join
His
spectators.
ears were ringing.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I just tuned in.
I
need to be on. Tonight. I got to be live. Let's go. And so he's here. So that's good. And this is going to change things a little bit for them, because now with him here, they can go, okay, what did we talk about on Cash in the past week? What do we need to focus on here? What is compLexity going to do? Because we know what they've done in the past, and they've had some success. So what can we do to counter it? And this, like I just talked about, how it was kind of going against them, now this changes a lot.
Absolutely. Well, Mainline, no joke in the CSGO world. Just 20 years old, coming from New York. He used to play for Team Method before he came over here. We didn't talk about this today. I think last time I covered this team, we talked about the fact that Method, they were criticized within the community after releasing a POV video of one of their matches where they seemed really salty. There seemed to be a whole lot of negativity going back and forth. I mean, you and I know exactly how that is when you're playing with a team, and it's just like you get down on yourself. So there were some suspicions that maybe, he pulled away from the team because of that, trying to find something more positive or make something work better with Method or with himself. So, I mean, we'll just see. I'd love to have access to all of these teams